Testing, 1, 2. Oh, hey there, Salted Spirit community. Thanks for tuning into another episode of the show. This is Stacy, the creator and host of the Salted Spirit, and today I'm joining you from my lovely fixer-upper garage, also known as the Tea Lab. We are now into October, one of my very favorite months of the year. Why is it my favorite month? Well, the weather, obviously. We are getting some beautiful misty mornings here in Ventura, along with cooler weather, quote unquote, at least for the West Coast. And all of my neighbors are decorating for Halloween. Since we recently moved here, it's been super fun to bike around our new neighborhood and see who is stepping up their Halloween game. Also, as most of you know, I love to sip hot tea, and it's really hard to sip hot tea when it's 90 degrees outside. So there's that. So I'm trying a new format, and I'm really excited to hear your feedback. For the past few years and nearly 70 episodes later, I've traditionally published long-form interviews, meaning episodes ranging anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour and a half. It's been nothing short of amazing to hear stories of courage and women overcoming physical and emotional challenges, getting deeply connected to water through things like diving and surfing and sailing, and of course, acts of brave ocean advocacy. That is very near and dear to my heart. So it's really hard to summarize one beautiful life in just an hour, but due to the human attention span, I've had to keep it limited. And what I'm learning, especially with COVID, is that we just don't have the attention span for an hour episode any longer. And I feel you, I'm totally with you. We need shorter sound bites and breadcrumbs throughout each week versus eating the whole loaf in one sitting, right? So for this reason, I'm trying a new format with the podcast and sharing with you 5 to 10 minute tidbits from me personally each week. These weekly topics will be wrapped around pillars of wellness for water women. So things I've learned in my personal life that you can hopefully apply to yours. These breadcrumbs will range from growing your own herbs and homesteading like I'm trying to do, to how to train for winter surf here in Ventura, or how do I continue to build community during COVID. That one has been really, really tricky, and I've gotten a lot of questions around that. Also, mental health trials and tribulations, something I personally love to talk about. Communicating with my husband and things we're navigating in our marriage, and even how I manage my personal finances. I'm especially excited to share that one. Listen, the word wellness means something different to each of us. We've been trained to think of wellness as two things: exercise and nutrition. And yes, of course, those things are incredibly important. But if you're listening to this podcast, then hopefully those things are already table stakes for you and you're already incorporating them anyway. So I'm curious, and I'm going to pause here just for a question. What does wellness mean to you? One thing I'd love to continue to incorporate into my future podcasts, even though they're going to be a lot shorter, are your audio submissions. So let's do this. For the brave souls listening who are always willing to take it to the next level, I have a challenge for you. Send me an audio submission, and be sure to keep your audio submission under 1 minute. And let me know 3 things. Number 1, where are you in the world where you're calling in from? Number 2, what does wellness mean to you as a water woman? And number 3, what one tip or trick can you leave listeners with today? You can email your audio clips and submissions to stacy@saltedspirit.com, and I will play them on the next show. Lastly, I've also gotten a lot of questions around, will I be interviewing water women anymore? Well, I will occasionally have guests on, but the format and types of guests will be changing. I'm focused on more tangible wellness tools that we can apply to our own lives versus long-form storytelling, and I really think you're going to get a lot out of this. Things just aren't the same as they were 4 years ago when I started this podcast. So in order to keep it fresh for you, my listeners, I feel this change is necessary and honestly really exciting. So with that being said, thanks for listening. Thanks for being part of this awesome, incredibly unique water community, and I can't wait to hear from you. I've just recorded my first short-form podcast on the topic of wild swimming, my very new favorite thing to do here in Ventura. You've probably seen my posts, so tune into this quick breadcrumb. I'm really liking that analogy, by the way. So you can learn all about wild swimming, what it is, where is the inspiration coming from, and how can you join me on wild swims around the world. So I can't wait to continue along on this exciting journey with you. Thanks for listening. Until next time.